This podcast includes explicit language and sensitive topics that some may find offensive.
All views expressed belong to the individual speaking and not a representation of any entity that we have been, am now, or will be affiliated with. It's your chance to back out now.
That being said, if not,
enjoy the show.
Previously on the Black Man Misunderstood.
To the attitude, it was a compromise. I had to lose the attitude and then lose my edge, because that's what attracted her to me. My attitude, though, the way I was addressing her, it had to die.
Black man, misunderstood.
It's your boy Mike B.
In the neighborhood therapist.
Welcome back to the Black Man Misunderstood. Here we discuss topics about the black man that others are afraid to speak on. I'm your host, Mike B, and this is episode 8 of season 4. Relationships and marriage. Lost it all. Now, joining me as always, my brother. You know him as a neighborhood therapist, but I call him Just. Introduce yourself to the people, my brother.
Yeah, man. Justice Payne Tyson, licensed professional counselor, supervisor. Put some respect on it. What's good with it?
He throwing out all the labels, y'all. Throwing out all the labels. But this is a near and dear episode to us because we brought on a brother. But I'm gonna let Just introduce him. Go ahead, man.
It's just a reintroduction, man. The producer of the show, man, DJ DAKster. Some of y'all know him as Dak. Some of y'all know him as DeMarcus Kelly. And then he got many other names that I will not throw on here, because I don't know which one is respected or not, you know what I mean? But man, a few words, man, many words, depending on which side of him you get to know. He's a brother of ours as well, but most importantly, he's a man of God. You know what I mean? And I preface that for a reason, because I think that's a lot of this is we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of that. But without further ado, man, DJ DAKster, what's good with it, brother?
What up, y'all, man? Hey, man. We on season 4, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, yeah, what's up, y'all?
Nothing much. Chilling. The last time you were here was season 2, but that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Yeah, man. But let's get into it. Why are we here, and why is this necessary?
Me and Mike, we do this before the season starts. We go and we like, what topics do we need to talk about? What are things that people are not discussing? And we just had an open slot. We literally just had an open slot. We had everything else situated. We just had an open slot. We was like, man, we'll get back to it. It'll come to us.
Facts.
So one day Dak hit me, we doing our thing. We talking about business. We talking about life. And he just abruptly, I mean, we was having a silly conversation. He just abruptly like, hey, bro, real talk, bro. I'm gonna need you to go ahead, whatever slot y'all got available, bro. And even if y'all don't got a slot available, bro, I don't care, bro. I need me an episode. I was just like, I'm like, yo, what's on your heart? Like, yo, what's you good, bro? Like, nah, bro, this need to be talked about, bro. I don't think enough people is hip to game what's going on in life and reality, bro. Because what I just went through, bro, somebody need to know, bro. I'm just like, all right. So let me be clear with y'all, all right? It's podcast me and then there's brother me, right? So podcast me was like, oh yeah, that's good entertainment. I'm doing the Birdman hands. I'm like, he talking, right? But then my brother's side took over and I was like, hold up. Like, what industry you in? I'm like, bro, you know what you do outside? I'm like, hold on, bro. You sure? I asked DJ maybe 5-6 times. Like, yo, you sure? About the 5th or 6th time, he went, Justice, bro. This is what we doing, bro. I said, oh, okay. I said, okay. I said, what we gonna call it, bro? Shit, bro, we gonna call it for what it is, bro. Lost it all, bro. He said some other choice words after that. It was very aggressive because he was on one. But that's why we here, man. Relationships and marriage, lost it all. And let me say this before we get into it, bro. It is pivotal. It is important. A lot of people don't really talk about it. We just got songs like F My Ex and all this other extra stuff, you know what I mean? But we as men, we don't really get into the nitty gritty of like, yo, why you feel like that? It was all good a week ago. Why you feel like that a week later? You know what I mean? So I applaud you for taking this step and even jumping on here, bro. Like real talk, it take guts, man. Vulnerability, real talk. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, of course, man. You know, it took some time. I wanted to make sure that I was like, you know, like have good clarity, you know, because we with this podcast, with the platform we done, we was speaking from real honesty and having a real organic base of people that they didn't want the BS. They really want to know what it was, what it is, and then how to grow from the situation. And that's the whole purpose of this, like to make sure other people don't fall into the same trap and make sure people like kind of learn and grow from the situation. And that's pretty much how I'm using my situation. And this situation, you know, it's gonna be everything you can put out and this can even be weaponized against me later on. But it's I had to come to terms with everything because if not, then I could just be just quiet and just leave it where it's at. But I feel like there's a group of due to how the climate has been, there is a group of men that's trying to still keep the same. You know, they're not all trying to be just like villains or bad dudes and all this other stuff. And these kind of situations will make a good dude or a dude that has like kind of morals, principles, and codes. They kind of switch and turn that off because of an emotional wreck or emotional situation, something that they didn't even expect to like change their perspective. So that's all what this is. You know, pretty much getting it all out there, and you know, this is a mark for me to not only for my friends, my family, and then like other like people who kind of know my dynamic to get like a little better understanding on what's going on. So that's pretty much what this all is.
Bro, let's get into it. I ain't got nothing to add because I'm as eager as every one of you listeners right now. I need to hear my brother's full story. I haven't heard it from his mouth yet. Myself, I've only heard bits and pieces. So enlighten us. What happened, my brother? Why are
So
we here?
so Chris, I know this episode was I say this, you know, when you're trying to get something like and this is like more on the man, like a man's perspective to understand it, and hopefully like a woman can understand it as well. On the man side, it's kind of like you're trying to strive to get a certain goal. And you hear a lot of people tell you like, well, get yourself together first, then do this. Get yourself together first, then do this. And now seeing it like now it's on my end, cause I was like, oh, I can do both. Like, cause then you have well, y'all got to build together, do this
Mm-hmm.
and build, and do this and build. So I chose the route of, well, I can build with somebody, and I'll go. As we're building along, that's every man's dream to know that the woman that they with that they saw you when you didn't have nothing, and then when you build and you finally accomplish your goal, like in the back of your mind, it's like a peace of mind because it's like, oh, well, I know this woman she's not here for what it is now because she's been here when it wasn't here. It wasn't the best. It
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah.
we was all making the sacrifices to see if this was gonna work. So that was the more the route that I chose because that was the same route that I see my father choose with, my mother to this day, his wife. So that's kind of what a little bit of background on me. That's kind of pretty much how I'm wired. Seeing it from how my dad is. Like I said, for most people, that it may be a little different for them. With being in a married household and what a married household look like. I've been in a married household. I never see my dad do anything crazy, anything like that. Now my dad and my mom probably had some issues, this or that, but they didn't make sure that the kids didn't see it. But it was still a healthy marriage. Everybody has their ups, everybody has their
Mm-hmm.
downs. So that's more where I'm coming in from. I'm not coming in from I don't know what a single household is for like years. It only was a single household when my dad was gone. And that's when I saw, but that's more not even a single household. That's a widow now. It's just a widow trying her best to raise her kids. So purpose of what happened, of course, y'all know I'm no longer with my ex. I'm just gonna call her my ex to keep it, so it won't be nothing too crazy or whatnot. But that was somebody who I had planned and was spending my time with, you know, for like my whole pretty much college life, the beginning when she became in like a freshman in college to where she is now. And my ideal of it was to, like anybody, when you be with somebody that long, the goal is marriage. Everybody, I talk to want to be married. I never talk to nobody. I don't have, that's why I always sound green behind, I'm wet behind the ears, old term, because, when I date or be with somebody, that's the ideal where I'm going. I'm never just dating just to have a good time. I'm not dating to just say like, hey, like this is a fun outing. Hopefully, like the goal is to marriage. That's the plan. So doing all the praying and fasting and getting everybody involved and getting like all my people involved as well, like all my close friends, because it's kind of like we all on the same wavelength. If I was to outside the industry, if I was to say all my close personals, everybody's married. And even all the people who have been married, some of them are coming up to like 4 or 5 years of being married. Like, I don't know nobody right now. I think the freshest person right now that I know or married is like well, Mike B. That's the only freshest person I know that's married. But there's no far, at least in this duration, this time, nobody's not like entering a divorce or anything. So this is kind of like the core base that I have. And of course, everybody has their ups and downs, but nobody's not in a situation where, as a group of friends that we have, that nobody can come in and to try to help. Either people are on the verge of getting married, or they've been with their spouse, and that's their man. Pretty much, however they beliefs, how they go, if they believe to go ahead and get married, or just saying like this is my wife. That's pretty much the kind of core base I got. I don't have nobody that's just out here just solo dolo. So this is one of the things. Very very upsetting knowing that it didn't work out. I've been with her for like eight. I think it was 8 years. 8 years. And then being proposed, I proposed to her on my 7th year being with her. Ironically, 7 was her favorite number, so that was the whole idea, the whole thing. Very, very thought things through all the way. This is this is something that is very important for us, really to talk about and how to, break it down and how to go through everything.
All right. I appreciate that,
Yo, facts.
but you know what I came to do.
He came to stir chaos. So
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Nah, I
did.
want to. I want to make sure no stone left unturned. So I just want you to get it off, and we're gonna be done with this. All right. So my question to you, man, in hindsight, what would you say overall ended the relationship?
just goals, like, and let me clarify this when I say goals, y'all. Like now, like as I'm, not with her. Um, First, what they say, get yourself together first. Like as y'all know, I've been in the industry since I want to say like 18. DJing 18. I want to say hardcore me getting to the industry. I want to say like it was really like 2018. 2018, that's when I really got in for real. So it's more of when you're trying to, like, they had this triangle and they be like, okay, family, you know, goal, and your wife, or is it wife, goal, and friends, something like that. And actually, yes, wife, family, friends. Okay. I was in a conundrum because here I am trying to like, I'm gonna be in this just the industry I'm in. Of course after I had graduated, I wanted to be in the industry. I was like, you know what, I want to see how far I can really take this Daxter brand or doing business and everything. And this is where I feel like I was good at. I've been doing it for so long, just in the undergrad, but now here I am, got to be on the biggest platform to try to do it. And, it was good. But the problem with that, and this is where the rubber meets the road, is it take a long time, y'all. Like it takes a while, and the money don't be popping. Okay. Money don't be popping how you want it to be popping, y'all. Like it takes a while for that money to be like, yeah, that's good, you know. And I was with somebody that I think she was more on a traditional, like, hey, if you get this and it's a little bit of stable income, we can be okay, you know. And I think that was another rift is the communication because it was like, well, you kind of in a field where you're going to be making a little bit more money than me at first. That's at first. She was making she was making so she finally had finished. She got all of her stuff together, and she was making a little bit more money. She got her PhD. Actually not PhD. I'm sorry, PharmD. So she was already good. So that's why I was just like, okay, well, just hold on for a little bit until we transition over. It's no different than if somebody's been in school and they want to get their bachelor's and their master's, and then they finally get the job that's going to land them for the stability that they want. You know, so that's where the issues I think occurred right there because it was more of not being on the page because it was more of I understand the role and I understand the job that you're doing, but then the marathons gonna start kicking in. So one thing to say, I want to be with the boxer or the athlete, but now the marathon's kicking in because before you see that person sign a big contract or you see that person they was going through a whole bunch of brokenness, a whole bunch of not what's up. It's not what's up, and I think in her idea, she didn't. One thing she had stressed was she didn't want to do the struggle love. Most women, most women talk about the struggle of love, and some women are like in this generation, this age, they're not doing the struggle of love. I'm not saying all, but it's a rare trait for a woman to say, "Okay, cool. I work at this. You said that you was doing a clothing company, or you doing this, or you doing a ride share company, or whatever it could be." But most women don't like. They don't want that. Most women want to be like, "Okay, you got some little money, like some stability over here. I got some stability right here. We're good on this to carry on." Most women not gonna do the okay, I know you're doing it. I know it's going to make sense. And you're doing the right moves because it's no different than, you going to college and you're like, okay, well, I got a 3.8 this semester. I got a 3.0 this semester. I got a 2. But that doesn't equate to, is that making you big money? It's not. You still probably working at, a Foot Locker or something like that. Then you probably got to go and work at a Trader Joe's or something. But it is progress knowing that you are getting closer. That was one of the issues that bothered down with the situation was that. Then another thing was apparently she felt like I had mommy issues or mother issues. One thing a lot of people don't understand is I have a good relationship with my mom. It's not the best, but one thing that I know with my mother, my mom, when you lose somebody that you love and you taking so much, I didn't realize that my mom put herself into like a mental breakdown. My mom was having mental breakdowns probably throughout my whole college career, industry career. So it was hard for me to even see it because I'm used to seeing my mom being strong. Hey, get up, what y'all doing? This and that. It didn't occur to me until I started leaving the house at 18 that maybe my mama needed a little bit more help, but I couldn't see it being an 18-year-old boy trying to be a man. So I was like, let me make it easier. Just let me get out the house. Let me, I was going to college. Let me just get out the house. So that lessens a burden for her. She didn't understand that in a sense. She was assuming that like, well, I'm covering up or you're not doing this, but it was hard for me. It's kind of hard to talk to somebody who you recognize as one person is slowly losing their mind and you're not able to recognize who they are, you know. And it's like it's kind of one of those situations like her days probably have been counted. So you're encountering somebody that you might like it might be a moment where they may say something like, okay, that's the woman that I know, but then it goes into something else that's like, okay, I don't know what's going on. So I was dealing with that internal issue as, going out being with her, but me being my best saying like, well, she's gonna get the best version of me. I want her to be who she truly is and be okay. And then it's the stuff I can blame. Like one thing I can blame myself on is, you know, like some of the dealings I was dealing with, like some of the people who I worked with, like as y'all know, when you're doing entrepreneur, and I'm the only person in my family that's like in the industry. So of course you're gonna fall, you're gonna stumble into a lot of things. You're gonna stumble into some stuff like, oh, I made the wrong turn. Let me turn back. Let me go around. Some of those moments that she probably didn't like those, but it was one of those situations that she couldn't help me as much as just support me to say, okay, you made a bad mistake, just come over here. And that was like with like some of the previous jobs that I had that, you know, that probably didn't yield as much money that it should. But what it did get me is it gave me some opportunity. And of course, if you have a business, sometimes you do stuff for the opportunity to say, man, I know I'm not gonna get what I need, but I need this person to talk to this person. So I got to deal with this BS with this person in order to get to this person. So not able to explain the communication part or why I had to do it or why I had to tolerate this person. Even though some of the people I could have just been like, man, I'm finna slap the mess out of them. Like I don't have time for this. But I still had to be strategic and say, okay, let me just be quiet and let me get past this, hoping that she understand because it was no different than her situations when she was in those similar situations where I'll just be just supportive. Like, okay, cool. Supportive with a solution. Supportive with a solution. That's how you can honestly that's the only thing you can truly do in that situation. That was just that was I can say that was another thing. And then um the last thing was probably like we both compromised on something that we said that we wasn't gonna compromise on. That was another issue because we was that was like that one. I feel like that one thing right there is what probably offset a whole bunch of stuff because we compromised on something, just feeling weak at the moment, and both of us feeling weak in the moment, and we compromised, and then try to stop or try to like come up with different solutions or different ways. But then I even realized within myself, I was just like, as a man, I just like, how he is, just like, well, we broke the door now, so might as well just keep breaking it. It's already broken. you know,
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
just we
I
broke
get
that
what he's
bud, so
saying.
oh well, like we can try to just move forward, move past it, and that issue came into some plays as well. So it's just like that was like another thing, but ultimately the way how she felt. One of the things she said she wanted to give it a high value. As a man, we can only do our best. Like once you get with somebody, if they have it, they have it. They don't, they don't. And some, when it comes to the high value and this, and all this other stuff, it is what it is. Some people, it's like, my favorite little gang site, gang winners. There's winners and there's losers. What side are you going to be on? It's no different. Either you're going to be a man or a high value man. And the high value thing is a rare case. It's a rare thing. But, if it happens, it happens. Every man tries to strive for that. But a high value man is how you want it to be. You know, high value man can be somebody that's saying, hey, I got me a 1-story house. I got this or got their own bachelor pad or wherever the situation may be. But there's a certain standard that a lot of women put in their mind. And then you got social media that influences it. But I tell people just do what you can. Like do the best that you can. If you feel like you're doing your best, then you're doing your best. Now if you're not doing your best, then you can't sit here and be up here talking about some, yeah, man, I'm a man. You're doing like roll out the bed stuff. Like you're not challenging yourself or you're not putting yourself above the stature that you can do. You're just kind of doing what you can to get by because life is something. So but those are, I say, a couple of the things that kind of like got in the way. And like I said, I blame myself on some stuff. And of course, I'm going to feel that way because I I've been broken up, so I'm kind of looking back at myself and like, well, could I did this better? Could I do that better? But it's some stuff that she could have worked on a little bit more better. But like I always give, and I'm probably going to be a victim of this, giving her the benefit of the doubt of she was just young and just needed more maturity and needed to probably go outside my scope or go figure out some stuff on her own to realize like what she had. And maybe she was right on something that she had to prove to say like, well, maybe this ain't it. Cause I learned like sometimes women be sometimes not all, but they be like, well, I think I can do better. I can find better, and they realize that might have been the better that you had, and now you got to go out there and see what it really is. So that's pretty much all I already got in that situation.
You talking about the one that got away?
Okay. Real quick, I just need the both of y'all to humor me, and I do want a response from both of y'all. Dak, you talked about struggle love, right? And you hit a hot topic for me. So with struggle love, this is my opinion and only my opinion alone. I feel like there was a time where the queens, that's what I call them, to get past all that female woman shit.
Yeah,
the queen,
you
the,
know,
the,
you jumped out around here.
right, the queens were actually up for and okay with struggle love, right? Because men at a time in our lives we had potential. We were actually holding up to the shit that we was talking about we were doing, the visions and the goals, right? So I gotta give the queens a little bit of grace on this one. Actually, a lot of bit of grace on this one. Taking accountability for the man in the mirror and my brothers next to me and my peers. A lot of us not holding up. The actions ain't speaking, right? And I'm not saying as if I'm a part of that because I can fully 100% stand on the other side, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm higher than or holier than now. Maybe I was a part of that and I never knew it. You feel me? So I'm looking in the mirror. So basically what I'm asking y'all is, yo, action wise, right? If you say you come from a struggle love perspective, whatever that is, we got to define that too.
Hmm.
Can you say, and especially for you, Daxter, in that situation that you was in, were all your actions hitting the way they needed to? Or, did she have a point not wanting to struggle love and things like that? And should somebody want to struggle with you, especially if you know what's coming? It's up to a queen to really feel like, I believe in what you're saying. I'm a rock and I'm gonna do this and this. Cause I'm very blunt in what I say. Cause my situation was a struggle love situation. I wasn't shit. I'm clear. I'm very clear saying that, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
my lady rocked with me for 9 years. I told her, I was like, yo, give me 10 years of your life. I told her 9. I mean, I told her 10. She gave me 9 and I did it.
Hmm.
Now she chilling. You feel me? And Dexter was on the front lines for that. Mike was there too, but like Dexter really was like in the
He
building,
was
building. You know
there.
what I
He
mean?
was there.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like I understand what that feels like to just tell somebody like, yo, give me some time and I got you.
Yep.
But I also understand from the Queen's perspective, somebody tell you something like that and they bullshit you and now you done wasted away childbearing years, all of that. So what I'm asking y'all fellas is like, yo, first of all, what side are you on, right? It's self-explanatory, but I still want y'all for the listeners, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Self-explanatory, what side are you on? And then two, were you enough of a man of action in the situation that you are either in or were in?
Yeah, let me start out with this one, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead, man.
I say I was the thing that with the struggle of, and I tell the dudes, I say this. The only thing that I can say could have been my downfall was the time because I guess the route that I was in, it was some unknowns that even I wasn't even aware of while I was doing this. So in that process, that's what made it be like, okay, well, damn, I'm gonna have to push this back a little bit more longer. So let's just say the action, kind of like how you said, like, all right, cool. In 2 years, we're gonna do this. Something come up. And you, as a man, you like, oh man, dog, I said 2 years, and now thanks to this little obstacle, it like maybe some men can do that obstacle and be like a regular hurdle, jump over it, but some they may actually hit the hurdle, and then you got the third one, they may actually hit the hurdle and hurt themselves. So it was some moments hit the hurdle, that ain't nothing. But then sometimes I actually hit the hurdle and I fell down and I needed a band aid because I was like, oh man, I didn't, but didn't have nobody to talk to. Didn't have nothing. So then that's when you try to make these backup plans to like, okay, well maybe this may be suffice, maybe this might work, maybe this may give us some time. But I say this to men, and I'm gonna keep it quick. Just if you're gonna do the struggle of, just know whatever time frame that you pick, how it's gonna go,
Mm,
you gotta hit that mark, man. You have to hit that mark because at the end of the day, if you don't hit that mark, You may get it's like playing a video game only on this extent. You may have a life bar and you missed that mark. Okay, cool. It chipped a little bit of that life bar. It chipped a little bit of life bar, but it can't get to the point where it's at that low percentage. And it's giving you that warning. Like you play that Pokemon, and when your Pokemon is at
Go
the
from
low level,
green to yellow to
they make that noise
red.
that it lets you know. All right, bro, you got one more hit, and in some cases, you may have the woman that say, "Okay, well, let's go to the Pokemon Center and let's get Nurse Joy and cool." But you might have some people that say, "You fainted and you lost the game, and ain't no save progress." So you have to know, as a man, I just tell this to men, just keep that in your mind because she could be cool. It may be cool at first. Maybe cool. And you may not realize that first time she said it was cool, you may be like, all right, cool, it's all right. Then it happened again, and you're not being conscious of it because you're like, oh, well, she gonna be there. I have plenty of lives with her, this, how that. This ain't no cheat code. She may, even herself, she may start being aware of it after the third life is gone, like, man, like, we did lost 3 lives. Like, what's going on? That's when she starts talking and questioning. So I say if you do that struggle of as a man, if you do decide to bring somebody along, just make sure you hit your marks. Because if you don't hit your marks, you might get maybe one or two of those grace moments, depending on what kind of personality that she might be. I'm just going off of the experience that I've seen that it ain't that many, and then it gets to the point where if she does decide to leave, what can you do? What can you do? Like, you might not have been the man that was equipped for with the vision that y'all both had agreed upon, and you might have to just go ahead and get somebody else that might see it. Because even with that, you still have to be, still got to be on point. So that's the only thing I can say with the struggle of, like, I get it from the male's perspective, but I'm just advising people that there's a time. Like, there's a time, and that life bar is real. Like, she may be cool, but as a man, I'm telling you, as a man, to internalize it, like, you don't want that life bar to go down. Like, even if you have to
That's so
sleep
true.
behind the damn thing, just don't. Just do it. She may say, "Don't worry, don't do that. I got you." I'm telling you, as a man, now I know not to even just. It's just I know just to be like, oh, okay. Once you go to sleep, just go ahead and because that I got caught up in too many of those moments because I'm thinking like, oh, this is my wife. She got it, and now I'm not like that no more. It's like even if hey, it's okay, okay. But in my back of my mind, it's that
Still
little
gotta
thing.
get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can go ahead and get it. Like that means if I got
Yo,
to get up in the
facts.
morning. So that's my only thing with the struggle out. So it kind of sees the male perspective, but then kind of understanding where the female's perspective is coming as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here. I'm not gonna add too much what's already been said. I think I'm gonna look at it from two different perspectives. I'm gonna continue what you were saying from the man's perspective. I'm gonna touch on the woman's perspective a little bit, but I'm gonna actually look on it the worldview way because I feel that that's a major factor in this conversation too. So definitely be on your P's and Q's. That I think that's definitely one of the things I would sentiment to myself because like even being married now, there's things where stuff goes wrong. If I don't got it and if I'm not handling it, she gonna feel some type of way. And people miss that part. Like, yeah, marriage has full ups and downs, and you're supposed to support each other in those moments. But the way I was brought up, the way I look at my way of life, being Christian and everything, I'm the head of my household. So everything falls on me, even if she says she's gonna handle it. It's on me. So that's the male perspective. Regardless if anything goes down, it's still on me. So I have to find another avenue, even if it includes her in the plan, for me to get to that. And definitely the women's perspective is like, especially, and the reason why I'm saying I'm giving you the woman's perspective as a worldview is because I feel more so now than more than ever before if you say you can't do it or said you don't got it, 9 times out of 10, the woman's gonna say, okay. And that okay can mean one or two things. One, I support you. Two, he ain't got it. And I gotta do it.
He ain't it.
That is the way that is going in this world today.
Preach.
But yeah, but at the same time, that we really should be looking at it that way at all. But that I concur with the same thing you said. Even if she says she got you, go do your thing and make sure it's handled on your end. Cause you never know where she gonna use it on you out of nowhere. Because people are human.
Yeah, people are human. You gotta expect that. You don't, and even like you don't want them to weaponize it. In some cases, first of all, weaponizing how I feel, just how that it should be done. To me, if that ever happens to me, like how it was, like I guess near the end when it was, I'm done. I'm shut off because I don't do that because once I get so many people's secrets and things, and even some of the secrets that she has and saw that, and I can never weaponize it because it's that's not me. That's not how like that's not me at all. I can't weaponize something that I know now, but in that women's perspective, and I get it. I just more like I said, seeing how my parents were. My dad didn't have moments where he didn't have it, but I never seen my mom weaponize that against him to chastise him or do all that stuff. To be honest, she would cook his favorite meal. That's what she would do. She would make sure that he was his best because yeah, he may had lost his job or something would have went wrong. But I never see my mom be unsupportive. I remember every time something happened with my dad, we was getting a new game. We was getting a new game system because that was just how he was wired to say, "Oh, well, it's the saying." And I always say this, and y'all probably hear me say this: like, I did my best, because when I do my best, hey, it's above me. I'm let go pro at that point. When I know I do my best in something, I don't. It doesn't harp. I don't harp on nothing because I did my best. What can I? What more can I do? Now I do learn from if my best was an L or my best wasn't the best. I try to do like if my best will still require a lesson for me to learn, then I do my best to analyze and see what's going on. But if I say I did my best, you're not gonna hear me talk about it no more. I promise you.
Respect.
Hey, before we keep going, there's one thing that I heard in my premarital counseling that stuck to me from day one. We can never provide them everything that they need, and they can never provide us everything that we need if we don't go to the higher power, which for me is God. I know it's for you too, Dak, and you too, Just. If you don't go to Him for everything, He has all your answers, not your significant other. And that's also another part of it also. Relying on that person for everything.
Yeah, and speaking of premarital counseling, I tell this to everybody. This is my advice because I did premarital counseling, but the problem was I did premarital counseling with somebody that kind of know us, and I advise somebody if you're gonna do the pre-counselor, like premarital counseling, get somebody unknown because that's a lot. Like when you want that person to be involved and to keep them to have like a biased mindset, it's just best to just get an unknown. Still have the pastor, whoever you want to, bring you in, but have somebody that they're trying to get down to the root of the issues or something, and they're not just gonna be like a yes man or yes woman because pastors can be male or female. Um, or spiritual guidance, whoever is doing the premarital counseling, just get somebody that's unknown because then it makes both parties y'all can be able to say maybe some stuff that you really want to say, and you won't feel as embarrassed because this is somebody who you probably gonna know, see, call, whatever. Just get somebody that's that you feel that knows what they got going on, but it's just better that way because I feel like that was another part that played into it where having somebody that okay they're seeing the best interest. You're telling one person may be saying everything, but the other person may be too scared to say everything because of who that person may be. So I just advise that. Like I know one thing, like just as that, I remember when Justice became, you know, the psychotherapist that he was, and I was like, "Oh, well, bro, I'm gonna come to you." And he was like, "Nah, you can't come. You gonna have to go you got to go find somebody else, man." And I understand it. During the time when he said that, I was like, just as we already talked about a lot of stuff down, like, what are you talking about? But now, as I guess, got a little bit more mature, it does make sense because there's probably some stuff, even though I told Justice a lot, but I guess seeing it from his perspective now, he's tapping into something in my psyche that it could even persuade maybe how he view me or how I may view him. Because now he's like seeing some stuff like he's like, dang, he really think like this. Like, oh, he really. I'm like, man, what's Justice on? He supposed to be helping people. He saying all this dumb stuff, and it's like, and just to be telling me some stuff already, he already telling me some stuff. But then he may say some stuff that be like, I ain't gonna talk to him for like 3 weeks. He ain't tripping. If I want to keep this friendship now, I ain't even talk to him for 3 weeks because he said something to me that, you know, maybe I needed to hear, but he didn't have to say it like that, you know. And as a guy, it's kind of like we already like as men, we already don't want to be vulnerable with each other to a certain degree. And then when you finally find somebody to be vulnerable with, it's like, man, he better not use it against me when we box. You know? So I get it now. I get it. But yeah, like how you were saying, Mike, the premarital counseling is very important. I just say, please, y'all, like when you're trying to get married, it's serious. Like, make sure you get it all the way, bro. Because like you just don't want no stone unturned. Like you don't want no stone unturned. Like let's get past this got good credit, bad credit. There's a health.
That's the baby stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is like, okay, cool. Y'all come up with a solution with that. But it's when it comes down to family blending, cultures, like what's going on? Like how is this person the person in the family? Or this person is the black sheep of the family? Or they are they gonna come in with this kind of energy because I'm talking to the black sheep and they don't really have a real family dynamic. They just pull up on holidays just to see each other and see who doing better than who, and then going back the next year trying to do it back again. You know, like some real, like it's a lot of real other expectations and things that, and even more being the man to say, okay, well, this is how it's got to blend. I got to make this stuff blend together. I got to make this work with her family. Because I'm telling her dad, or even her dad's out there, the single parent or whatever, hey, I'm taking over. This is how my regimen work. And y'all involved just as well, but this is my regimen. This is my boundary. So, yes, she may be like this in your family, but she's coming into my family. And in my family, this is how we do things. And we're going to always respect you because she still carry our blood, but now she's a this now, and this is how we had to order structure. This is how we got to go, and this is how we pretty much work and move. You know.
Respect. My last thing on struggle love, and this is super petty, but it's super neighborhood therapist. We can't get off of here without a neighborhood therapist moment.
Go ahead, man.
Here you go.
Listen, man, this is to the kings and the queens, however you want to take it, but mostly because we talking about queens not wanting to do struggle love in 2024, 25, and beyond, right? If you're not willing to struggle with me, I'm embody somebody that's listening to this. I got you right now. I got you, brother. Check this out. If you're not willing to struggle with me right now, as I'm getting my shit going, and I'm using the word shit, I got to curse to get this off my chest. If you not going to struggle with me as I get to this point, if I do decide to walk into you or I'm rocking with you in the future or anything like that, and we decide to get married, the honorable Ye, sometimes not honorable Ye, said, we want prenup. We want prenup. Yeah. Something that you need to have. You understand? I'm not even playing games no more. Just go for the queens too.
Yeah, same
If you a queen and you on your way up and you run into a brother and he ain't on it, and you decide, you got your stuff together and you meet somebody new and this new person got their stuff together, you got your stuff together. I don't care how much y'all love each other. Once you leave old buddy that ain't doing nothing for you but giving you the peen, okay? But this new person giving you the peen plus more, and you like, I want to take it a step further, have business, have kids, get married. I still need y'all to get prenups. I don't care no more, bro. We are at a point we got to stop looking at prenups as taboo because there's too many people getting married, getting divorced, and these people leaving with half your stuff, your empire that you built dolo. It don't make no sense. So I'm embodying somebody that's listening that's like, yo, bro, appreciate it. Hey, I got you.
Yeah.
If you ain't gonna struggle with me, if you ain't gonna shoot in the gym with me, you're not entitled to nothing leaving out. And I know some of y'all gonna get on here, oh, well, what about love? And you supposed to trust and you talking to the wrong person, bro. Because I don't even practice trust with my clients. I tell my clients all the time, I don't need you to trust your significant other. I don't need you to trust your homies, your brothers, your mama, your cousin, your sister, because it don't say nothing like that in the Bible, Quran, or the Torah. It don't say nothing about trust your fellow man. It say trust God. Don't play with me. Don't trust humans. Humans gonna always let you down. They're always gonna let you down. What you can do though is believe in your significant other's loyalty to you. That hit different. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I got one question for you, Dak. Got one question for you, bro. Well, it's a 3-parter. All right.
Yeah.
What could you have done to be a better boyfriend? What could you have done to be a better fiance? Is there a difference?
Yeah, it is. I say probably as a boyfriend, to be a better boyfriend, and I speak this to everybody, just I should set like stronger boundaries, as a boyfriend. I didn't, when you be with somebody you in love, you tend to let stuff kind of go free as boyfriend. Really ain't paying some stuff. You be like, that really bothers the best out of me. But it's like, you know, she my girl. It's all right. I'll rock with it. We'll get there. We'll get there better. As a boyfriend, just establish more boundaries, like so you can keep that person so you can work on the transition and not so much as the staying in the puppy dog like lovey dovey phase. You don't want to rip the lovey dovey phase. You want to enjoy it obviously because it's the best feeling. To be honest, that's what kept me to stay in my relationship longer because I can always reminisce. Like if I had a bad time or anything like that, I always can reminisce the lovey dovey phase and how it was and how I feel during the time, how my mind was the most clearest. I wasn't as angry. I wasn't like feeling stressed. So that's what I used to always go to hold on to. That's why I can continue fighting if we need to go another 8 years or whatever, 20 years of infinity, because that phase was such a critical phase where I can think and be like, you know what, it's all worth it. You're shit mad at me right now. It's all worth it. I may sleep in the couch tonight. It's all worth it. It's just those moments. But I should establish a little bit more boundaries, like so you can kind of work the transition to like then when you get to fiance. I say when you get to fiance level, because it is a difference. Now, whatever the vision that you have, it's pretty much like in fruition. It's about it either is happening, like it's transition because it's about to happen because you did the necessary steps, or it's like the vision is done and it's kind of like, okay, come on, girl, like I done did this, I got this, I got this, I got this. Come on, I'm ready for this next chapter in our life. Like that's when you get to the fiance status. It's not. I'm probably being a little bit more anti because of like still like after I healed from the situation. Now I'm looking at it as more like what is my obligations I need to do? Like, is she feeling okay? Are you okay mentally? Are you how you feel spiritually? Like now, like I have my list of things that I make sure that I hit now to make sure that we good. Like anybody, like, well, make sure that I'm good with 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 said individual to make sure that we're good. Before I was in love, like in the love phase, and sometimes you had to be careful with love and lust too, because I was in a phase where some stuff could have been more love, but then maybe some stuff was more lust. So you had that element that could be like that could kind of delay like going back to being a man on morals, principles, and codes. And now you kind of conforming some of your morals and some of your principles because now you got a element that normally you wouldn't have got involved and now it's involved. So when you get to the fiance status, you should be like now transitioning to like now we about to be one. So you got your goals and things, accomplishments, what the Lord has put on you to do. I got you got your goals, accomplishments as a man, what the Lord has put in you. Now it's gonna start blending together. Like when you get to fiance, boyfriend and girlfriend, that's really the building stage. And I say the boyfriend and girlfriend stage was important because the foundation, how it's gonna be. If we can't even build the foundation, we're not gonna even make it. We're not gonna make it. Cause it's like we didn't but that's why I say it goes back to should have put more boundaries on stuff. Should have just raised my could have said more things a little bit more, but just because of and like I said, this is the environment of a struggle of I may had some stuff, but I may not have others. So I'm compromising because I didn't have this, so so she don't get pissed off. Let me just go ahead and do that. I said, as a man, if you don't have it, cool. Just hey, I don't got it. And if I don't feel like this is, hey, I don't feel like this is what it is. Because I'm already telling you I don't got it. Instead of just being like, let me go do it. I'm gonna get like a grace pass. Hopefully she accepts it. And some women will accept it. But I say as a man, don't lean so hard into it. Like if it happens, be surprised. Like when stuff that be happening to me now, I'd be like, it's for me. Like I'd be shocked. I ain't gonna sit here and lie because I'm expecting to come. I'm expecting to come in a certain way, but I try not to make sure that my heart is not too hardened to the point where I don't miss the cues of like, oh, it's okay. Like this is okay to ask for. Like this is okay to ask for this, and it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a deal breaker. It shouldn't be a okay. I'm not going to be with him. He broke, or I'm not going to be with him. He tripping, or I'm not going to be with him because he asked for this. It's like as a man, you ultimately this is somebody. Remember, you're dating a marriage. I should be able to say something to you, and it doesn't ruffle your feathers. It shouldn't be a ruffling situation. It shouldn't be a you asked me for this,
Mm-hmm.
but and you didn't pay the light bill. That was $60 or something. I had to pay for that too. It's like, ain't we together? Because if that's our deal breaker, then I'll gladly give you. Because when a man get to a point, I give you what you have, and I'll leave. Because I don't have time for this. I'm already dealing with so much outside there. You think I'm about
You
to
don't
come
need it at
home
home.
and
Mm-hmm.
deal with this, all that. And the reason why I'm going out here dealing with all this stuff is to make sure that you have, because we don't care about our happiness like that. We really care about that woman happiness. But that woman, she care about her happiness. And if that means her happiness is you being there, she'll push you to the side. And that's something that I've learned that people want to be happy. Us as men, depending how you was raised and how my dad raised me, he was okay with my sons was taken care of, my wife was good. His happy moments when he was like, "That's my boy. Dang, I got a wonderful wife. There go my boys." That was his happy because all the work and all the sacrifice he did for me to come home and say, "Hey, Dad, I got an A today on my paper." That's my boy. That was his happy. That all his sacrifice didn't go in vain because kid came back got an A. Kid did sports, came in second place. That's my boy. His wife. Oh, I got a promotion, saw that. Oh, wife, that's a wonderful thing. Oh, wife, you didn't, because my dad's the kind of person, he didn't prefer my mom to work, but him being supportive, okay, go ahead and work. That's just how I saw my dad. My dad, if it was up to my dad, my mom would have been a housewife. That was his goal and that was his desire because he stand on it. That's what he wanted it to be. And that's something that I've learned, and it was like, yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, I want my wife being a housewife, or it not that was that logic. Let me say the logic of today. I would prefer my wife to do what she wants to do. So if that may be her being a housewife, cool. If that means, hey, I want to be a photographer. Hey, I want to be. I know I'm working this hard corporate job, but if I could just do this little small business and making macaroons, if that's what she want to do, that's what I want to support. That's the new age of how I'm gathering in that now compared to like, oh, she gonna be a housewife, man. She better go in there and make my sandwich and be quiet and be happy about that because I'm providing. I I think what I would want my wife to be able to do is what she want to do, and what does that financially take for that to happen? What does that financially take? Is that something that the Lord wants you to do? Let's start now, starting a line stuff because we do stuff right now because we in the world, y'all. We just trying to all right, man. I'm trying to survive. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to hey man, hey, all right, you want a grilled cheese sandwich, you know it. But once you start getting and you get like that more spiritually in depth, then you start like, all right, Lord, like you kind of got me my wife. So what are you trying to get us to do now? Because it's not me just getting this six figures over here. It's not me getting this, getting this big house. So my kids and that's the provision that he has helped me provide. But what is it that you really want me? That's what it boils down. That's what it starts getting boiled down to. Because yeah, it's a nice life to say, yeah, we had two six-figure jobs, kids was taken care of, they went to the best schools and stuff like that. But did we really do our purpose? What the Lord is really trying us to do? You know, are we really in a situation where he's probably challenging us, where now we really have to make a sacrifice? Well, you're making good money. Why we got to do that? You're making good money. Oh, it's clear to me that that's not something that you really want to do. So let's get to the point where we're trying to go. So that's something that like now with this next my next relationship, like I'm planning it like that, and I'm not holding back. Like I tell any guy, like I'm not gonna be bitter. I'm not gonna be out here. Hey man, you're not doing this and this. Oh, I'm not talking to her. Oh, I'm not because I've always been the kind of person. I still have to see this person's character. You can't just throw somebody off because they may have a flaw. I'm different. I have a little bit more patience than most people. That's just how I am. Some people are not wired like that, and that's what I learned with my ex. The patience, she can be patient as much. I'm not going to sit and say that she wasn't there for the ride, but she just wasn't going to do to hold it down. I think she had ran her limit with to hold it down, and you can't get mad at nobody like that. That's what they choose to do. That's how they choose to do. You can't, you will hope that in a year 3 or 4, you can talk about that to say, cool. I just advise people don't wait so long till it starts getting critical and then say, well, I had an issue about this. Well, at least you did before we got to the altar. That's all I had to say with that.
Nah, I respect it. So you saying what you just said remind me of something that I listen to in my morning calls now. It's waiting, praying, and just watching, right? So you're praying to God, you waiting to hear His voice, and then you're waiting to watch to finally actually implement what you've been praying about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I respect that. I respect that through and through. In them on them topics, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is there any chance of recovering the relationship?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. When it was the beginning, let's just say them maybe 4 or 5 months, I was like, okay, maybe she'll calm down enough. We'll come back. We'll see what's going. Let's go back to the drawing board. Um, shout out to our uncle. Uncle's, he played a very big part in how that transition went. You know, him being there, and that's why I appreciate, at least uncle for sure because that's how I would want it to go. Like, I have my own niece and nephew. I mean, my nieces and my girl cousins and stuff like that. And I would hate for them to be going through like something like that. And then the dude, because we got a lot of emotional dudes now, they don't know how to walk away. They be on some crazy belligerent stuff. They be
Yep.
on
Overly emotional, you meant, but
over,
yeah,
over.
Yeah.
right.
It's to the point where
Yeah.
it's just like, dang, you gonna scare the girl to be with you? She already said no. Like it's over. Just keep it pushing.
Yeah. Facts.
So I do shout out her uncle for sure. But during that time, I was like, well, maybe. But even I had realized probably like maybe the third month, Now I remember I sent a text message saying, "I get this over," and probably my delivery was just bad. But of course, y'all know I'm not a texter, y'all. I'm telling y'all, if this if
Me
it's
and you
something
both, Dak.
wrong,
Me
bro,
and
you
you
have to
both,
talk
Dak.
to me because I would text it. I'm just texting it. I'm not seeing no emotional behind it. I'm just texting it like you reading a regular
Uh-huh.
book, a regular
Yep.
informal book,
Yep.
not even nonfiction. Informal. It's my text messages are informal text messages. They're not
Yeah.
no. Let me look into it. He said bye. Why?
Yo, listen.
My
My
stuff
When,
is
boy.
my stuff is not like that. So when I say it,
when
and
I say Mike and Dak are not texters, they are standing on what they saying, bro.
listen, like if you really want to know what's going on, you call me. That's
Call
why.
me.
That's why I
Mm-hmm.
be having my business meetings. Y'all better talk to me because I'm gonna hit you with the whoop whoop, and you gonna be, and then you're gonna be looking at it like, well, what did he mean by that? Or what's going on? Nah, that's how it is. But during that time when I was thinking about it, when I sent that text message, I was done, y'all. Like I was done. That was it. Like this is just my
Mm-hmm.
personality. I'm not gonna speak for other. It's been some dudes they've tried to almost kill themselves because of the whole situation. Me, I want to make it sure it's clean as possible. I want both people to feel safe. If like, oh, that's how you feel. I'm not after throwing no chairs. I'm not doing none of that stuff. I want it to be safe as possible because you got to remember that's somebody's cousin, that's somebody's aunt, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's
Mm-hmm.
sister. Like that's all goes through my mind. So I had to make sure that this was a cool, and that's why I respected her uncle because even when everything was going out, how I was doing the transition, I was in constant contact with him, let him know like, oh no, I'm not gonna be doing all that stuff. Like I'm gonna let you know all the way when I was leaving and everything like that, and how I was moving out and this all that. I was like, hey, this is how it is. That's how I'm gonna go about it. I'm just letting you know because at the end of the day, who wants to see they loved one get into a traumatic experience? Because we know how dudes is. I didn't been in many situations where I had to fight dudes and all this other stuff because of the dude acting crazy, and I gotta put threats and all this other stuff. It's some people, man, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't for this.
Don't go there.
Yeah, yeah, look.
But
I know
You
some
answer the
stories.
question.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know some stories, so you good. Don't
yeah.
worry.
So
You answer the question.
it's just like so it's over. Like I don't see us coming back. I want the best for her. Obviously, she accomplished. It was an amazing ride to see her accomplish her goal, her dream. And this is a part of the chapter of my life that I'm not going to be able to see. And I pray that where the Lord has in store for her, that it's accomplished. Because, like I said, we're going to the Lord's will. The Lord feel like that wasn't it, and the Lord feel like that wasn't my wife, and I was my season for that, regardless of how long it was. For somebody like in human years, it's like, oh my gosh, that's 7 years. That went down the, but the Lord sees time differently. The Lord,
Yes.
we all know that in the Bible, He has seen time differently. Like even what was going through with Job, it's just time. It was just different. His time is way different than how we see it. We look at it like, oh man, dang, Lord, I'm gonna have a midlife crisis. What's going on? But his timing
Mhm.
is the best timing. So I do appreciate what I learned from the situation and what I got from that. But I do want the best for her. Like that is what it is. But of course, y'all know, and this is me, and y'all think y'all everybody know me. You know, she doing her thing. I totally make sure I'm all the way out to the situation. Shoot, like I even got her blocked on all my stuff because I don't want no triggers. I don't want no, because I mean, y'all see how my stuff is now. Y'all didn't see me doing this, that, all this other stuff going on. And that can be a trigger for somebody to say, well, I'm not happy and he happy. Or I'm not happy, she happy. So to not even put my mind or put her mind in a situation, cut out. I say this is more for somebody. Now, if you was somebody for a year or two, and I know y'all was just flinging it out of this stuff. But of course, y'all remember this was somebody who I thought was my wife. Not even just my wife. I thought she was ordained. That's the thing. I thought she was ordained. Even out of her mouth, she would be like, "The Lord told me you my husband." So when you get those kind of things, And then now it's not you, man. It's a whole bunch of fasting and praying. You got to go back to. You got to make sure you wouldn't listen to the wrong thing. You got to make sure that what was going on. What was this? So that's why, like, to keep everything. This is just my situation. It may be different for somebody else. My situation, it had to be like that because if not, I know her to a certain extent that it could be hard for her to just move forward if that accessibility of me is always around. It may be a little bit hard for me. It realized with me I can be way colder than I think I can be because I was able to, and just as my witness, he was like, "Man, you sure? I'm good. Well, what's going on? Just as I'm fine. I can say this, and I'm honest. It was only one day I cried about it, and what made it cold, I cried and I called her, and she curved me so cold, y'all. She curved me so cold in my midst of my tears, bro. So that's why at that moment, I wiped my eyes. I was like, okay, cool. That was it. I'm a very, of course, just know I do get emotional and I do feel that, especially when the pastor, like when Mike had got married, I'm not finna sit there and say when him and his wife was dancing, I was crying. Nobody didn't know that, but it was just they were just crying. It was just such a beautiful moment,
So,
huh?
uh,
Oh, you saw me? Oh, you weak, bro. You're weak. You just sit there. You didn't give me no paper towel, no nothing. You just sit there. You just sit there and let me be up there crying. I didn't have nothing to wear. I had to use the suit. That was a nice suit. I had to wipe my snot on and everything, bro. You tripping, bro. You supposed to get it.
Not the suit. Not the suit.
Doug hit that. I was watching Doug. I was like, is he? I said, yo. I said, I'm gonna keep it to myself. Doug hit that.
Oh, you wrong.
He looked around and said,
Wrong for that. Look, I couldn't do nothing. I was dancing.
Just as wrong, bro. You see how he is, bro. You
Yo.
supposed to be covering up, bro. Give me a handkerchief or something, bro.
it was quick, bro. It wasn't even long, bro. It was a quick.
Still, I didn't want
Oh
nobody
man.
to know. I leave, but it's like that. As
Yeah.
hard as and some of the stuff I've been through in my life and stuff like that, I still try to have that human aspect. And most guys know what I'm talking about. The ones that like you're not gonna see them cry at all. Like they
Mhm.
could have got shot, bro. You might see a tear. You might more than
Facts.
anything, or they may
Facts.
So it's just kind of like I try to do my best to do better on my emotions, especially on that. But when that happened, bro, I was cold, boy. I was like, it was even some people checking me. It's like, man, are you sure, man? I was, this or that, and I was just like, nah, it's done. Nah, I'm over. And
Mm.
even if they look like the text message, because like I said, I'm done. Like everything been deleted, pictures, everything gone. I think I made
Mm.
that decision. Like once I made that, when I thought about it, I was done. I'm deleting everything. I'm done. I should have nothing left. And then the only thing is, I had to question those moments, like when I was with people and having that moment. I just like, do I keep these? Because this was somebody else's joyous moment, and we was both there. How do I go about that? You know.
Mm.
So, and I said, y'all know I'm cold blooded, so I done deleted some of those too, bro. Because it's like that's why at least I got some ones where I was individually with that person, and I took my pictures and saw that. But those both ones out of there. That's just me. I've always been like that because I believe that my wife is out here. You know that that wasn't my wife. I believe my wife out here. So when she do come in, you think I want any skeletons or any
In the
remnants of
closet.
her
Yep.
thinking that, oh man, he probably thinking about that feeling again? Nah, that feeling is gone. But that individual is gone. And like I tell her, like, and this is me. This is me. Because somebody was like, well, do you think you loved her or this or that? I'm telling y'all, now it's all the way no. Okay? It's no, and this is the reason why. When you love somebody, this is me. This ain't no coping mechanism. This ain't no, oh, he just doing this. When I love somebody and that person love me, we rocking. That means wherever your past may have been, wherever my past may have been, we acknowledge what it was. We move past it. Now we're trying to do something. I love this person. This person loves me. The moment that person say, "I don't love you," "I don't think it works," anything like that, they don't love me no more. Because when you love somebody for real, now you had the moments when you like, I love that person, but I had to be away from that person so that person can grow. I do believe in those. Like man, if you have some homeboys or some partners that you was like, man, I had to let that person go because that was the only way they was gonna get better. Or I had to make this route because I lost, like, even with with my best friend, like, but it was the best for both of us. But in the midst of that, when it comes to women, because you heard the women be like, oh man, they be with their new husbands, all this stuff, and they be like, but y'all still love such and such. You're like, how do you still love such and such? You got a whole husband. Ain't this the man of your dreams? And so that, he is. It's just that I can't just forget those moments that I had with such and such. It's like, okay, you need to go to some therapy or something to figure out what it is, because I can love people in Christ. Okay, I love my sister in Christ. I love my brother in Christ. In Christ, I can sit there and be with somebody. But you saying without
I
that
love it.
Christ factor, and I gotta sit there to say this person, well, hey man, that ain't me. In Christ, yes. With Christ, you're gonna get that love from me in Christ. Cause that's the only way. That's the top love. I tell people that's the top love. Because it's no way you can just be with an enemy or be cool with an enemy, and Christ was able to construct y'all to be in the same room. Because it's no
Mhm.
way if Christ wasn't there, the two people who wasn't Christ followers or believers, and they was in the same room, they killing each other. They're not gonna be about to be dabbing each other and trying to come to a resolve in something. Nah.
Yep.
Only Christ lovers can say, because of Christ, And that's why I say I appreciate my ex's uncle, because that was all Christ. That's loving Christ. And
Mm.
he came in and he did what he did, and he wasn't being biased, even though that was his niece. He could have been. Come on, y'all. Most people,
Yep.
most uncles, they not playing. They not finna be
Nope.
sitting around here picking sides. They finna pick one side only. That's my niece.
Right.
Get your ass home.
Right.
But him being a Christ follower, and he is a Christ follower, and he practices principles and everything like that. That's why I was able to work out in that way, where it was everybody got to get with it, what they gotta do. You know. So as I move forward, and I know some of my friends and my family and everybody that's going to be looking at this and seeing this, y'all know how I am, bro. If God's in it, nothing's not gonna break me. If God's in it, if the God's not in it, I just want to say it in a way where it's a lesson learned for sure. And that road, that road is cut off, y'all. Like, y'all know how I am. Like, if you with me, you rock with me. If you don't rock with me, I put my distance. I'm that person. I put my distance, and I'm gonna go my way. You can say anything crazy about me. You're never gonna hear me say nothing crazy, because if I'm really a true believer in Christ, like I'm saying I am, I should have nothing negative to say. You know, I should have
Mm.
nothing negative to say. I shouldn't be walking that road. I'm not gonna be, well, if she did this better, maybe we could have. It's some stuff she could have did better on. But like I said, the benefit of the doubt in my mind was she was young. She's trying to get it. That's just me. If I see there's a flaw in somebody, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna address it though. So let's try to get better at it. But
Mhm.
I can't sit there and do that all day. Like I'm the one that's older. I'm the one that's a little bit more mature. You know, I just had to face it like this and just move forward. That's just how I feel about
I respect it. I respect it.
True
I got
respect.
I got to tell you, man. I appreciate your vulnerability today, for real, for real. Um, it take balls, it take guts, and a lot of people, a lot of men are not willing to do it, because as much progress as we have made as men, we also have gone back a little bit, where you either got overly emotional or no emotions at all, or not emotionally intelligent at all.
it.
So I really, really appreciate you for having that mental fortitude to even sit there and take us bombarding you with the questions, because
we doing a lot of playing on here, but we are being very serious, and you are having a serious conversation, and I really appreciate you, man. Last question for you from me. I heard you say you're open to being married again. And that, as a brother, that makes me feel really, really good. Because I've been playing with him like, damn, do he want to get married again? You know what I mean? But because I know you, right? I know that that's always your goal. That's always been your goal, to have the provided household, because you come from your daddy, boom, 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 boom. You know how we speak or whatever, right?
Come from my daddy nuts, y'all.
There you go. I ain't want to give it out there, but you said it. So my last question to you, bro. Real serious, man. Not neighborhood therapist. Forget Justice Payne Tyson. It's just, bro. It's me, right? I want you to tell us, but really talk to me bluntly. Tell me, bro. How do you be a better man for your wife?
This, I say, the best way for me to be a better man, like communicate, set my boundaries, put my foot down on stuff. Like, I put my foot down before, but now it's like it has like a direction. Currently, it's somebody I'm talking to right now, and she was just like, I remember this is a joke. Well, not a joke, but I remember I went to go see her, and strong, strong independent women, man, strong independent women, man. And I was like, oh well, let's do this. Like, I want to do this because I was thinking about her, trying to make it less for her, and she still wanted to do it her way. But then I still had the grace, like at least I thank God for this, that I still have it where even though she was like, she probably knew like she was wrong, but she was still able to come to me and say, I know you had said this. Can we just go ahead and do it? And I was like, I got no problem. I already set it up for you anyway, you know? So it's like that's never gonna die in me, and she even received it and said, you know what? I appreciate that. I never had nobody do it in that way. Cause it's always oh, you ain't listening to me? Okay, figure it out on your own. That's you. That's not me. Like, I know it takes time, and being the head of the household, I'm telling you this, any man that wants to get married and this or that, you are the leader. You gotta have patience times 10 above it all. Because if you don't have that patience, that's when you get to be like, you just sprite out of control sometimes. And I know for me to get to my best version of me, it's gonna be my wife. It's I done DJ DAKster. I done moving to the rooms and doing this and making sure things happen and doing the impossible sometimes. But for me to get the best version of DeMarcus, I gotta have a wife because that's my balance that's gonna keep me to keep the things that I'm doing now to be able to help multiply those things, or to keep those things to keep me to get to my next destiny. And even the blessings that I want, I know my wife is the reason why these blessings are able to happen because she's involved and I'm seeing the big picture. I'm seeing the big role that's going on. So that's why I was able to. I know my wife is still out here. Like, that didn't make me be. And thankfully, like when my ex situation, like I said, I don't have no kids with her. And I tell a lot of dudes, you gotta kind of be. I'm telling y'all gotta be cool, bro. Because when you start involving the kids thing, you're thinking that, oh well, it's gonna keep us together even longer. But I guarantee you, I bet you, even if I, let's just say, if I did have a kid with my ex, we still probably wouldn't have been together. And that'd been a whole nother headache for me. So you had to. It was gonna be my wife. I was gonna have my kids with. Plain and simple. That's gotta be married to have my kids. I just can't just be. It could have been 5, 6 years, and everything good. This is an example of 7 year a 7 year relationship. 1 year being a fiance, and it still wasn't enough. It was over. Like a thief in the night. It was just over. So that's just keep that in mind. Like, nothing against her or whatnot. I hope she's doing what she needs to do and she's following the Lord's will. Because that was something that that's another thing. We as a Christian couple, that was a she believed in God, I believed in God. So look at what happened in the midst of that 8 year, 7 year span, 8 year. And then the cool thing about it, known her for 10 years. That was 10 years of my life with that person. That's a whole decade. I'm not even getting back. So, and Christ follower and believer and this all that, and things can still happen. The devil gonna be working so hard. And I even say this, I tell the people all the time, people be like, well, don't say it. Nah, I'll be like, man, the devil won that battle for sure. He won that one. I'm telling you that the devil won that battle. Because if it was ideally, we were being, married and everything like that, but the devil won that battle. And it's sometimes hard to even swallow and say, dang, Lord, what did I do wrong to even for what did I do wrong for him to even get that close to make that battle? How he was able to win? Because I'm winning these battles. Devil ain't killing me. I'm getting him, but he got me on that one. Got me. And I had to sit there and look back and say, okay, cool. I understand. So now my wife that I'm working with now, everything finna be tight. We can't let no little crack, no nothing. Don't let nothing seep in. Don't let nothing like whatever is the issue, let's sit down and talk about it. We got a problem, let's sit and talk. It's gonna be uncomfortable. Hey, we're gonna be uncomfortable over here then. Because if we can't get past those things, talk about marriage. Like, and one thing I used to say to my ex, what do you think marriage about to be like? It's gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
boy,
10
boy.
times worse.
You about to see some stuff. You about to see something like I said. Maybe in that period I didn't call her out her name, but shit, maybe when I married, I may have called her out her name. Because marriage is different. And I'm not saying marriage is a punishment. It's this, it's that. Marriage is the most beautiful thing. It can be so abundant to the point where you just can be in there and be in the presence, and you're like, man, this is what's up. I just know me. I gotta have a wife because with all the industry I'm in, all the stuff, it's too hard. It's too hard for me to get get in a roster and to get me it's too hard. Like it's really right there around the corner. It's really right there. And I know my wife is there to keep me grounded. Like, of course, I have to discipline y'all because I'm not out here. Like I said, I'm not community peen. I'm not out here like that. But the thing is, I know I'm a good guy to the point where there's been a lot of women that can come up to me and say like, nah, like I feel comfortable being around Dak. Like Dak is this, and it can give them the idea like, well, maybe he could be my husband. Maybe he could be this. But that's not one woman that's thinking that. It's a lot of women thinking. So it's me as a man to be able to say, it sounds nice, but God didn't point me to you. God got you to somebody else. I can be a friend, I can be cool, but I can't be him. I can't be that guy for you. So you gotta recognize that. And as men, especially when you get into that high value position, and especially with all the stuff I'm doing to get to this, is I know I need to be grounded because this next level I'm getting to now. Hey man, yeah, I can either be an island or a peninsula. So it's really up to how I want to do it, but I just want to be in the middle of mid ground, no water. I got my little lake in the backyard. I'm good.
Got you.
That's what happens when you look in the man in the mirror, y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What you got, Mike? What you got, man?
Man, he had so much to give away this episode. I don't know what he want the viewers to take away from this, man. Dropped a whole bunch of gems, but what's one thing or the most important thing you want them to take away after this conversation?
Know who you are. Know who your spouse, bro. Like if you've been in a relationship with somebody for 3-4 years, you know, if that's gonna be your wife, if that's gonna be your husband. And if it's not, go ahead and make that decision. Don't draw this out thinking about what other people are gonna think and what other people gonna do. Like even with this episode, I know somebody gonna weaponize me on this, but it's cool. I have already come to terms with this, so there's nothing somebody can say to me that's gonna have me stuck. Like, oh my gosh, it's not. It's life. I just say that's why I want the viewers to understand. Like, don't sit here and if you know, and don't even do it like, well, finances is good. I don't know if I can financially be out there. Come on, man. That mean you're not really there for the whole love piece. You're just there for what you're getting. If that piece was gone, and that was one thing, I always try to establish. If that piece was gone, if you couldn't provide for me, if You couldn't do nothing for me. Why am I here?
Ooh. Tell him that.
Why am I
Tell him.
here? It's just I'm still true love, y'all. I ain't talking about Disney. I'm talking about seeing for my parents a
Fruits of the
woman
labor.
who accepted a man that didn't have much. Only thing he did was go to the army and come back. And she still, and with his, because I got 2 half brothers, and still said, that's my husband I want to be with. And for them to have grown and to have the goals that she was able to accomplish and the goals that my father was able to accomplish before he passed, is that's what it is. Hopefully you with somebody that if you single, you're striving to get with somebody that and be honest with yourself. If you know that you're not gonna do struggle little women, don't do it. But don't bash it down either. Don't he just broke. He can't even give me
That part
Cheesecake
right there.
Factory. He just tripping. Oh, he can't. It's like if you know what you want,
Yeah,
just
man.
don't even do it. And fellas, you know you broke, okay? Or you know you're not where you need to be at. Don't try to think you're gonna get this 10-piece and be like, well, she gonna understand because she know I'm trying to get to this point. She's not gonna understand. You're not there. What kind of love you want? That sounds more contractual to me. Oh, I got my money, so you stay. Hey, so I got the money. You gotta. You just
Love
gotta.
is
You
an
just got.
action word.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like if you know who you with, bro. Like, just be honest with that person. You can sit down, have a real honest conversation, and you're gonna know. If you're single, you know what you want. If you want that high value man, shoot for that. That means that you're making yourself available for the 0.01% man in the world that's hitting the expectations. Your, I'm not gonna say delusion, but the imagination that you want. Go ahead. What I just saw Instagram too long ago that said delusion. They were showing Drake and Bill Gates and this, and they was delusional, but they were successful. Okay, cool. That's what you want to do. That's you. Hopefully you accomplish and you get that. And that's the honest guy. You see women all the time. It's like, how did he get that kind of man? That's this, how that. She was willing to do a little bit more. She was maybe want to do a little bit more that you weren't willing to do. But she did. And that means she's a compromise with some stuff that she might not really want to deal with. But she got the mansion house. She got the kids. She get to drive the Rolls Royce or the Jeep Cherokee or the Mercedes Benz, whatever fit that boat, wherever it's the materialistic route. But if you with somebody, because the most important thing, God is really a dang y'all, and y'all really trying to see what the Lord is seeking in His will for y'all, and you may find busty crusty or she may be dusty busty, whatever the situation is. When you get past the physical appearances, because it all flees away, in the next 10, 20 years, I'm not gonna be looking this good looking right now on my birthday, But the thing is, I was hoping my partner, even though, she looking good and fine, whatever, this gonna be a day that all that's gonna be diminishing. What was the real reason why I was with her? It wasn't because she had the assets that I love. It was because she had God's heart. She heard God's will. I had God's heart, I heard God's will, and now we together to make something. We're gonna be the couple that just want to say, "Hey, you got a good job, I got a good job." Shoot, you can go to a career fair and you can find that person. Why are you looking for that job? Oh, you get that, get that. Hey, we can twin, we can, whatever the people be doing, bro. But it's just the fact of the matter. It's just real love. I just seen real love for my mom and my dad. A woman that accepted my father's mistakes, and then my dad seeing the little girl in my mom to want her to, be healthy in her spiritual mental walk. That's what I saw. So that's what I'm coming from.
Respect.
That's what I growing up seeing. So my screwed of how I see things or may say something, a woman that I'm able to provide that for, they see that and you know, man, that's what you're gonna get out of me. That's what you're gonna get out of me. Ultimately, you're gonna work and this all that, but you're gonna realize as we continue going into life now, my 30s. So it's different compared to how it was in my 20s into this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's uh it's something to keep in mind now for those who are dating their 30s. What it look like, because you got people like, oh, I'm ready to get married tomorrow, but it's just like, are you ready to accept who you is? Have you already accepted who you is, and have you found that person who is healed, has grown, and is ready to take on that role now, and it's gonna have the same patience. And I'm that kind of person like this. I'm gonna have the same patience how I had, not to compare all the like the women that I've been with or whatnot, but I still keep that same patience. I don't never use my exes' past on my present, because that's not fair. That's not fair. I don't care how, whatever the situation was, it's not fair. She's that the woman who I'm with, she's still gonna get the same 200% out of me, probably. But the thing is, it's gonna be more because she's gonna be my wife. She's gonna actually be my wife compared to my ex girl or my ex fiance and their situation.
Respect, man.
Respect. I ain't got nothing else to say. What about you, bro?
I'm good, man. I just sincerely hope you got everything off your chest. And not to say you can't never speak your mind to
Oh yeah, of
anybody
course.
that you got around you. 'Cause I know you one thing about you got a support system. You got a team around you. So, feel free to express your mind, express yourself. But I heard you slip in there that you're dealing with someone. So, the only thing I can do the only thing I can do, man, is fast and pray for not only you, but for her as well, because I think the both of y'all just gonna need grace with each other. And if this works out, man, I just I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you, for your peace. I know you was saying happiness, but I'm big on peace. I'm big on peace. I feel like happiness is one of them things that we are guaranteed in life, just like we guaranteed depression and sadness.
Hmm.
You guaranteed those things. You're gonna have
Yeah.
to go through them.
Yep.
But peace, bro, peace, everybody don't make it, man. You know what I mean? And some people don't even know what it looked like. And I just want peace for you, bro. Cause you deserve it, bro. You my guy. I rock with you, man. So
Yeah, no,
love, man.
I appreciate you, and you're right about peace. Like
Bro.
you got to
Whew.
fight for that all day. Like you really have to fight for peace. Like happiness can be, like you said, happiness comes with depression. You're getting both. You're getting salt and
Mhm.
pepper. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you might
yeah.
as well. You're automatically
Salt and
getting it.
pepper.
So, but yeah, peace. I appreciate that. That's something I'm gonna carry out a little bit more. Try to get my peace.
Facts, man. Take us away, Mike. If you got anything.
We talked about peace. We talked about losing it all. But let's be for real. He really didn't lose it all. You didn't
Hey,
lose it all, bro.
hey, Mike.
You
Real
lost
talk.
the moment. You lost the moment in time, but you ain't lose it all.
Hey, hey, Mike, man. It's something. You know what? I'm ready to say it. I'm ready to go on air and say it. I've been telling Daxter something from the inception of us meeting, prior to me and him getting to it the first time we met. Okay. So listen, I feel like Daxter goes through moments where God has his hand on him and pulls him back and pulls him back and pulls him back. And everybody that he loves that's around him, or even people that he don't even really rock with, they be moving ahead of him. Right. But that's just so patient. He's so kind that he just be like, all right, well, everybody winning. Well, it's just not my time yet. It's just not my time yet. I gotta figure something out, man. I gotta get it going. Right. And he be racking his brain. And then as soon as he gets to a point where it might be too low for him in his head, he be like, well, dang, God, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna still do it. God let go. And I know people are like, what you talking about? It's because he was in a slingshot the whole time. Think about what I just said. He's going back, he's going back, he's going back. I feel like that's Dak's life, man. He feel like he's going backwards, right? Because he's working so hard, he's doing the things he's doing. But I feel like, man, he's like a butterfly, right? Like in the cocoon, he getting ready, right? And sometimes he don't see it. But the people outside of him, i.e., me, one of them people, I be seeing, I be like, yo, he about to slingshot over all our asses, but we gonna have to go catch him. But the purpose is, bro, it's a beautiful yin and yang thing because the people around him, we go ahead of him and we go cut the trees down and do what we gotta do to make the land for this. And then when he gets slingshot over us, he going into a territory we know nothing about. So by the time we get there, he be like, all right, y'all, here go to promised land. I'm like, bro, what the you did this by yourself? Dumb type of people. Dumb type of people.
It goes back to what I said earlier: waiting, watching, and praying.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it take a village, man. So yeah, Mike, I 100% agree, man. You could lose it all to gain everything. Long as you got a foundation. I'm finished how I started, man. Long as you got a foundation, man. And his foundation is, I'll let you say it, Dak.
It's gold, boy. No, my foundation is good, man. I appreciate everybody. Like, I didn't realize, like, when it all went down, like, everybody, like, the way how everybody came through, boy, I was like, man. It was even to a point, like, I know my ex, I remember one of the text messages she sent me, she just like, you going somewhere where everybody love and they care for you, and I don't have that. And I'd be like, you actually do. You just have to establish a little bit more with your people. I care about my people all the way. I've been with everybody when they wasn't where they was at, and to see where everybody's at now, when I do walk in the building, it's always been love. And even, especially when I came back to Houston, man, appreciate everybody for real. When I came back to Houston, it was a really surprise how many people was like, man, we have you back and this, how that. And I was just like, dang, what was this energy in 2018 when I had graduated? And I was like, all right, man, I'm trying to do something. And nobody would hear me. But coming back, like, it was really a support. Like, a lot of people came back that was happy to support. Even like with one of the big projects I'm doing now, I was even surprised with like some of the people actually knew who I was. I was just like, man, I guess my name is getting getting up there a little bit. But yeah, like I appreciate everybody, but I advise everybody, like, the support didn't come like, it's not like overnight. Yeah, this was like something that was built. This is like time. I didn't cut down with all these people. I didn't been with these people when they was at their most vulnerable, and some of these people have been open with me with their secrets and everything. And I know a lot of people ain't like this, but the secret that everybody told me is going down to the grave. Not a lot of people ain't like that no more, but some of the stuff that I know is going down to the grave. So it's just like, I appreciate everybody. That the foundation I had, it was really, really strong. Nothing didn't change, but like at the same time, I didn't do nothing to dishonor everybody or make people look at me like, I can't believe he did that. Was they surprised? Yeah, but they know. I think people know my character enough that I'm not I don't do disrespect. I don't dishonor nobody. I look at everybody how they want to be. And however you present yourself as somebody that's taken serious, then I'm going to take you serious. Even if you present yourself as a clown, but it's only so long before I say, okay, this is a clown, and then that's it. Like, I'm not going to go back and say, oh, well, he's somebody. No, he was a clown. He presented to me 5 times that he was a clown or she was a clown. So that's what it is. I'm not going to sit out there and try to say that, oh, we both deserve to be on the same platform or the same level. No, they want to be a clown. If they're on the platform with me, they're still a clown. So, but I do appreciate you for that, Justice, and same thing with you too, Mike.
Of course, we got you, Dak. But with that, folks, we can talk your ears off for hours. Mm-hmm. But we see y'all next week for sure. All right, folks. Peace.
Peace already.
What up, listeners? Mike B here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. You can find us on IG at BMM_podcast. On TikTok at BMM Podcast. Facebook, just type in the Black Man Misunderstood Podcast. And then you can find the Neighborhood Therapist at the Neighborhood Therapist on IG. And you can find myself at MikeB_BMM on IG. And if you want to connect with our producer, the DJ himself, Mr. DJ DAKster, check him out at DJ DAKster on IG. Alright, folks. See y'all next week.